Star Trek Lower Decks has become a hit among Trekkies for its irreverent humor and fresh take on the Star Trek universe. Fans are eagerly anticipating the release of the show's 4th season, which promises to be full of exciting new adventures and hilarious antics. Therefore, allow us to show you everything we know about Star Trek Lower Decks Season 4. Star Trek Lower Decks Season 4 release date. Paramount Plus has announced the premiere date for Star Trek Lower Decks Season 4, so mark your calendars for Thursday, September 7th, 2023, when the first 2 episodes will beam down on the streaming service. This exciting news was revealed at the 2023 San Diego Comic-Con to the delight of fans. After the cliffhanger ending of Season 3, we've all been eagerly awaiting the return of our favorite Lower Deckers and their continuing misadventures aboard the USS Cerritos. Now we finally have a date to count down to for the next chapter in the hilarious animated series, and with the first 2 episodes premiering together, we'll get an extra dose of Lower Decks absurdity and fun right off the bat. September 23rd cannot get here soon enough. Until then, we'll have to keep ourselves busy rewatching the first 3 seasons over and over. Thankfully, there are always new background details and Easter eggs to catch in this fast-paced show. But keep watching, there is still a lot about the Star Trek Season 4 cast that you need to know. Star Trek Lower Decks Season 4 cast. As Star Trek Lower Decks Season 4 beams back to our screens from Season 3, get ready to boldly go where no one has gone before, as we journey alongside the intrepid crew of the USS Cerritos. Beckett Mariner is still sticking around. So now I know your hearts are bursting with joy as you wait to reunite with the inimitable Beckett Mariner, played by the amazing Tawny Newsome. Obviously, we don't expect much to change from her, and she should continue to be fearless and feisty as ever, but also it will be great to wait and see what surprises she has in store for us this time around. Brad Boimler is not going any sooner. And what Star Trek without a trusty and lovable sidekick? Most loved and the favorite Boimler for most fans, played by the talented Jack Quaid, yes, he is from The Boys, should be back and ready to navigate us through the perilous cosmos. And we can't forget about the ever-curious and endearing Devon Attendee, played by Noelle Wells. Other casts are expected to remain, but keep watching because that is not all. Eugene Cordero will be reprising his role as the intrepid Sam Rutherford alongside the ever-professional Carol Freeman, played by the brilliant Don Lewis. And who can forget the hilarious Jack Ransom, played by the charming Jerry O'Connell, and the cool and collected Tiana, played by the wonderful Gillian Vigman. Everyone's favorite character is expected to remain. New characters in the mix. Now this will make you more anxious as you wait for the release, but you will be thrilled to announce that a new character will be joining the crew, the formidable T'Lyn, voiced by the talented Gabrielle Ruiz. And let's not forget about Peanut Hamper, who is voiced by Kither Donahue, and whom we'll be seeing more of in Season 4. Any guest voices to expect? Well, Lower Decks Season 4 rumors are very promising on more cast for the season. We could be thrilled to have more Star Trek Legacy guest voices. James Cromwell will be reprising his iconic role as Zephram Cochrane, and the legendary George Takei will be making an appearance as Captain Sulu. I mean, come on, how amazing is that? Star Trek Lower Decks Season 4 story. But keep watching as Lower Decks Season 4 promises to have love, laughs, and a wedding. With Beckett back on board, we are pumped to see the ensigns embark on even more crazy adventures. But wait, there's more. Mike McMahon, the showrunner for Lower Decks, is super stoked about Season 4, calling it their funniest and most dramatic season yet. He even teased some exciting details like a fan-favorite Vulcan, T'Lyn, getting more screen time. Creator Mike McMahon also took to Twitter to tease some tantalizing details. According to McMahon, an unknown force will be destroying starships and threatening galactic peace. But of course, our favorite underdogs on the Cerritos aren't important enough to deal with such high-stake matters. Instead, we can expect Ensigns Mariner, Boimler, Tendi, Rutherford, and new provisional Ensign T'Lyn to keep up with their usual Starfleet duties, get into trouble with malicious computers, and then inevitably get stuck in a couple of caves, all while encountering new aliens and classics along the way. In other words, business as usual for the Lower Decks. Though that mysterious destructive force has me intrigued. Given this crew's luck, I bet they'll end up on a collision course with that danger whether they like it or not. The Season 4 poster also shows the Cerritos crew paying homage to the voyage home. Whale references, perhaps? We'll have to wait and see, but one thing is for certain, Lower Decks is charting a course for more hilarious misadventures. The showrunner, Mike McMahon, has been dropping some very interesting hints about the plot. Apparently, the gang is heading to Orion, and there's going to be a wedding. I mean, how exciting is that? McMahon also said that Season 4 is going to be the best one yet. It's going to be funny, dramatic, and filled with T'Lyn. A super sweet romantic episode. We are not telling if there's any smooching though. A wedding. Get your Worf wedding attire ready because someone's tying the knot. Who's getting hitched? Maybe Shaxus and Dr. Tiana? They've been a thing since Season 2, and we've seen them using the holodeck to, keep things interesting. So, in Season 4 storyline, we should expect some few twists and changes to the storyline, as in, a new recruit could be introduced. Firstly, there could be the introduction of a new recruit, the Vulcan named T'Lyn. T'Lyn could be introduced as Vulcan Science Officer trainee who should maybe be joining the Cerritos crew alongside Ensign Divana Tendi. What will T'Lyn bring to the table? Well, I know you are wondering why the introduction of a new character, but just imagine that T'Lyn brings to the show her own unique perspective to the team. It would add more details and some great twists to the story. Is Mariner making her comeback? Lastly, on what to expect on the story of season, Mariner, who was previously in trouble with Starfleet, is also expected to make a comeback in their good books. We expect her to be mentored by Commander Jack Ransom, and this will be a very big deal for her character development. Star Trek Lower Deck Season 4 trailer is filled with Easter eggs and misadventures. Comic-Con was home to a Lower Deck takeover this year, with our favorite underdogs taking center stage at the big Star Trek Universe panel. Fans were treated to a special screening of the highly anticipated Strange New Worlds crossover episode featuring the Lower Deck's crew. Let's just say that hijinks ensued when Boimler, Mariner, Tendi, and Rutherford found themselves on the USS Enterprise. After the episode aired, the Hall H crowd got an exclusive first look at Season Dex 4 with a brand new trailer packed with more Easter eggs than a Cadbury factory, so you'll definitely want to watch it multiple times to catch all the references and surprises. The new footage hints at potential promotions for our favorites as they take on their biggest mission yet, figuring out who's behind a string of attacks on non-Federation vessels that are now targeting Starfleet. We also get to see more of T'Lyn the Vulcan, voiced by Gabrielle Ruiz, who's joining the wacky Cerritos crew this season. And plenty more trademark Lower Decks craziness is on display. Escaping volcanic eruptions, bizarre Ferengi mating rituals, Orion Girls Night, and Ransom and Shax working out and homages to TNG's Beverly and Deanna. To top it all off, Mariner teases Boimler about their upcoming adventures traveling to the past in the next episode of Strange New Worlds. Now, I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see their hilarious misadventures through time. Season 4 is shaping up to be out of this world. But keep watching as there is still more on this amazing new season. Well, before Lower Deck Season 4 has even beamed down, Paramount Plus has already greenlit the hilarious animated series for a 5th season. It is clear that they cannot get enough of our favorite underdog crew's adventures. The streaming service also renewed Strange New Worlds for a 3rd season, so we have got plenty more Captain Pike and company to look forward to. In other Trek news, Picard aired its epic series finale earlier this year, and many are hailing it as one of the best Star Trek seasons ever. Discovery is set to wrap up with its 5th and final season coming in 2024. It is bittersweet, but we won't have to say goodbye completely, as Paramount has a Section 31 movie with Michelle Yeoh in the works, along with a new Starfleet Academy series set in the 32nd century. The future is looking bright for the Star Trek universe. With Lower Decks renewed, fresh seasons of Strange New Worlds, and more movies and shows in development, it's clear our favorite sci-fi franchise still has warp speed ahead.